Hi, this is Shubham, and in this video, we will learn an awesome concept regarding how to add the opposite arrows with a different color. So, as an Excel user, you know that when you go to the traditional formatting and when you select the icon set, you have the arrow directional formats are given, right? And for positive number, there is a green arrow which is upwards, and for negative numbers, we assign a red arrow downwards. But what if that in my situation, or if anyone who is working in that industry where the negative percent is good sign and that user needs to show green arrow as a downward. So if I go to more rules and when I explore the certain icon sets, icon styles, I will not find the default green arrow downwards and red arrow upwards. That's the issue here, right? So, with that limitation, I have explored two different methods and I will be discussing in this video and I hope you will be have something new to learn. So, let's say I have taken an example from my utility bill which is as electric in India. So, let's say I have consumed last month units which were 284 and this month units which is 275. So, technically I have consumed less units as compared to the last month. And that's a variance of -3. So which is a good sign. And I need to show a arrow which is green and it should be downwards. So as I told you that we do not have a default set here. So how to do that? Now there are two methods. Let us understand the first method. I am using Excel 365 version. Okay, so what I did is I have already went to the Google image and I have downloaded image of green arrow downwards and red arrow upwards, and I have put in a certain folder on my hard drive. Okay, so these are two simple images. Now what I will do is I will go to insert tab and I will insert these two images in my cells. Okay, so how are you going to do that? In the insert, I will go to the pictures and I will have a choice. I can place that picture in cell or I can place over the cell. So I will prefer I should put that image inside a cell, okay? And then I will select this device because that file is in my device. Okay. So now I will insert first a green arrow. So let's click on insert. Now this image inside my step. And then the same step pictures, insert, and then this device, and then red arrow. So now I got these two images. Now what I will do here is I will write a formula. If the cell of variance is less than 0, so give me this particular arrow which is in A8 or else A9. Okay. So now you can see that because this negative variance is basically a good news for me because I have technically used less number of units as compared to the last month. So this is a green arrow because it is a downwards, but it is a good sign. So that's why it is a positive, right? And for instance, if I change the number of units for this month, so it is going upwards, which is a negative because I have consumed more units as compared to the last month. So it is giving me red arrow upwards, right? So now you can see this issue has been resolved, right? But one more thing is that we also need to do the conditional formatting for this number. And I don't need to show this minus or hyphen sign as well because I can understand that if it is a good news, green, it should be and it is going downwards. So it could be technically a negative, but I don't need to see this hyphen sign. So what I will do is I will write a function here which is abs. Okay, so that returns the absolute value of a number without its sign. Okay, so I will close the bracket here. What happens here, as soon as I apply this arrow, will definitely going to change, and that's what I don't want to do. Okay, so instead of referring to E6, I need to put a calculation of difference from these particular cells of this month units and last month units. Okay, so what I will do what I will be doing is I will copy this, and instead of A6, I will paste that here. Okay, so paste it here and you can see this. Now I will apply in ABS function. Alright, okay. So now I will go to condition formatting new rule. And if equals to, if the current month units, okay, subtract last month units divided by last month units. And let's close the bracket. If it is less than 0, then go to the format. And what we need is a font color should be in green color, right? Let's select the green, okay, and that's it. So you can see that because it is a good sign, so we know that it is a negative variance, so we don't need to show the hyphen sign or minus sign here. But our purpose has been fulfilled. Now what happens if I increase the number of units? So I need this 6% as to be turned as red, right? So I need to again apply that another rule for conditional formatting here. So let's do that. Go to conditional formatting, new rule, okay. And again, current month units minus last month units divide by last month units. If it is greater than 0, then go to format and let's select a red color for the font. Okay. So now let's see 275, that's a positive sign, okay. And green arrows showing is downward. If I go from for again more units, so that's a negative news. And that's the red arrow going upwards, and this is expression, right? So this is how we solved our query for opposite arrows which were not technically available in the icon sets by default. Okay, another method which I prefer, if you are not using Excel 365 but something older version, so what you can do is you can do to the insert, and on the very right side you will find symbol. Okay, so when you click on symbol, you have to select here wingdings. And when you select the font type wingdings, you can go downwards and you will find the arrows. Whatever the arrows you want to put, this is upward, this is downwards. So I have inserted these two arrows in two different cells, upward and downwards, and I will click the logic here. So equals to, if let's say if the variance cell is less than 0, so what we need is down arrow which will be up in green, right? And then vice versa would be the opposite, upward, right? So this is a simple if logic, and this is showing me a different text because I want I need to go to home tab, and instead of my default font I need to change it to Wingdings. Okay, so now you can see that this month in units 275, last month units were more, so I have consumed less 3%, and this is showing me down arrow. Now I need to assign a green color to this arrow, so that could be by conditional formatting. So new rule equals to, if the cell is less than 0, then go to format and we will change the font color. Remember that because we are using Wingdings font, okay, apply that, make it something bold, and press OK. Now you can see that you have the green arrow downwards, and similarly the logic which I have applied here, not to show the hyphen sign, you can apply that similar kind of a thing, and instead for, let's say if I consume more, so you can apply now for red arrow as well. Okay, so now you can see here 275, it's green downwards, and if it is more, so it is red upwards. So these are two methods. Thank you.